So is it principal or principal? P-A-L or P-L-E? Hi, my name is Eva Marie Everson. I'm the CEO of Word Weavers International and a best-selling author of both fiction and nonfiction. If you want to know more about Word Weavers, we are a 501c6 group of writers across the globe who see ourselves as iron sharpening iron. We want to help each other along our writing journey. But if you want to know more about me, Eva Marie Everson, author.com. Now let's get to today's lesson on, or I probably should say this week's lesson because I do these once a week. To this week's lesson on one of the most common mistakes writers make. And I can remember this rule from way back in the day. Is it principal, P-A-L, or principal, P-L-E? Well, let's start with P-A-L. Now, if you have been in school, or perhaps you're still in school, you may have heard this, I guess, way to remember the rule as being your principal, P-A-L, is your pal, P-A-L. So your principal is your pal. That means he is the head of something. And an easier way to remember this, because principal, P-A-L, can have several different meanings. An easier way to remember this is that there is an A in principal, P-A-L, and A is the most important letter in the alphabet. We know this because it comes first, right? So easier way to remember it. Now, again, principal is the head of your school. Dr. Phillips is the principal at our school. Or you could say Dr. Phillips was the principal at our school. If you're already through school and Dr. Phillips happened to be the principal at your school. But also you can use it to denote what is the most important. For example, our principal expense is our mortgage, or the principal actor in the film was Ryan Reynolds, or my favorite, Cary Grant. Or you can use that in any way, like, for example, the principal offender in the burglary case was the older of the two men, which means he had the heaviest load to bear on the crime itself. Okay, so that's principal, P-A-L. Let's talk about principal, P-L-E. And again, they're said the same, principal and principal. But a principal, P-L-E, is a fundamental law, a doctrine, a code of conduct, or a rule or list of rules. So if you're heading off to school, you might say, the principal, P-A-L, gave us a book on the school's principles, P-L-E-S. And that means that the principal of the school, the head of the school, gave each student a book that explained the fundamental laws, the doctrines, the code of conduct, and the rules within the schools or the school. I hope that this explains one of the most common mistakes writers make when it comes to principal or principal. Hey, I could have said a principal mistake that writers make is the misspelling of the word principal. Okay, again, I'm Eva Marie Everson, and until next week, when I join you again, write on.